Back in the United States, what's Malcolm do? Heads for another motorcycle race with his friend Steve McQueen. The event is the Elsinore Grand Prix. 1,500 motorcyclists line up in the main street waiting for the start. $1,500 riders and 50,000 spectators fill the little town. It's a 100-mile race through the streets of the city and into the foothills outside of town. The average age of the 2,000 Elsinore residents is 60 years old, and it's the only town in America that welcomes such an event. The residents love it, and so do the riders. Malcolm will be starting in the second row, Steve starting in the fourth row. Held back by a rope, riders leave at 10-second intervals, 10 abreast. It was supposed to be 10-second intervals, but it got a lot shorter than that. You could tell the most eager riders by the rope burns on their neck. By the time the race was 2 miles old, Malcolm passing the last rider and taking the lead. It had rained a few days before, and there was a big puddle. As the pack came thundering through, the water puddle turned into a mud puddle. Then it turned into a mud hole. The first 200 riders made it through, but for the 1,300 yet to come, it was all stop. There's no money involved in the race, a trophy for the winner. In fact, they pay a $15 entry fee for the honor of riding. While they were getting out of the mud hole, Malcolm had opened up a commanding lead. Malcolm rides so smoothly and effortlessly, he doesn't appear to be going very fast. He is. There's 1,499 riders behind him. When he came back through town at the end of the first lap, he was so far ahead, there were no other riders in sight. With the rest of the riders thundering through town, it was sport for the spectators to see if they could get across the street before they got run over by a motorcycle. Everyone rides Elsinore. If there's one event you ride a year, it's usually the Elsinore Grand Prix. People of all ages, girls, the pig farmer from Marietta. There's only about 200 riders who are seriously competitive. For the rest, it's a great Sunday adventure. Doing wheelies through town to dazzle their friends, bouncing off any object in sight, missing half the corners, and ripping out 10 miles of banners and dragging them back through town. The people of Elsinore can't believe what's going on in their town. Pull a chair up in their front yard and have a grandstand seat. Number 48, Steve McQueen, entered under the name of Harvey Mushman, but it didn't take long for the spectators to figure out who number 48 really was. She was dazzled, but her husband wasn't too impressed. Yeah, I could do that. Steve really earned the respect of his fellow riders. Some of them didn't realize what a good rider he really is. His car racing experience gives him the ability to pick the perfect line through the corners. In a subsequent Elsinore race, Steve crashed, broke his foot, got up and finished 8th, broken foot and all. It was Malcolm Smith's day. When Malcolm passes you, it's a mistake to try and stay with him. In the lead, but still time for a wave to a friend beside the course. Malcolm's got an uncanny sense for doing the right thing. Here, swerving off the course through a hole in the barbed wire fence and around the now cleaned out mud hole. Back through the fence again without missing a beat and passing 6 guys in the process. What's the guy who rides motorcycles every Sunday do for a living? Malcolm owns a motorcycle shop. In 10 laps, Malcolm passed 7,000 riders, some of them 3 times. Malcolm almost never makes a bobble or a mistake. It's about 200 feet down off the side of the road. When it was all over, it was Malcolm Smith. There he stood in the pits with his ear-to-ear grin. He didn't even look tired. Steve turned in a great ride, finishing 10th overall, riding against the best riders in the country for this kind of event.
Every time I start thinking the world is all bad, then I start seeing some people out there having a good time on motorcycles. It makes me take another look.